The first thing you do when the season's over, especially if you've had a real successful one, is realize that it ain't going to be as easy the next time, that people are looking at what you did and trying to copy you or trying to figure out the way to get you the next time. So you have to figure out a way to work harder and do better and change some things to improve yourself.
It's funny. I think I joke around sometimes. People will say, oh, you took over this program. It's like, yeah, it's being handed the keys to a Ferrari.
Bolles is a place that has such rich tradition everywhere.
We had a tradition of winning before I got here, and it's just been an honor and pleasure to keep that winning tradition going.
Bolles just, there was a drive with all the athletes to be the best that you could be, and they had such a rich tradition of athletics, and it drew a lot of kids to a lot of different places, whether you're a swimmer, a baseball player, basketball player, football player. Every sport seemed to thrive.
My name's Matt Morris. I'm the athletic director at the Bolles School. When Nick Saban flew in to have a meeting with Mac Jones, that was pretty exciting. Swimming state championships a couple times. Watching Ryan Murphy swim, watching Ryan Murphy race Tony Baselli was kind of interesting. Caitlin Collier running track in high school was phenomenal. Watching Chris Bono wrestle, watching some of our girls' soccer teams just win state title after state title.
The Bolles School athletic program has produced 149 team state titles with 96 state runner-up finishes in 17 different sports, along with more than 500 district titles in 24 different sports. The program is decorated with countless championships, gold medals, and a fierce domination in almost every sport. They consistently produce collegiate athletes, professional athletes, and Olympians alike.
In coaching any sport, it doesn't matter if it's swimming or not. You kind of, one of the jobs of the coach is to kind of set the expectation for what is good. What's our standard of good? And that tradition here kind of does that for us, right? Our record board that sits down at the pool has a record. Those records most colleges would take those in a heartbeat. You have a handful of Olympians, more than a handful, it's a bunch of Olympians across our record board. You have times that haven't been touched in 20 years. So that's our definition of good, right? By walking in the door here, it's not like we're building something where, this has never been done before. There's some really amazing things that have come before us. So our standard for what is good becomes really, really high. And so that helps us from the get-go of saying, if you're here and you're gonna be a part of this, then we need to operate and act like, make decisions that are at that same level. So that's how the tradition kind of helps us. It kind of sets that bar at a pretty high place when you walk in the door.
I've had a lot of great kids come through the program. It's easy to talk about the guys that are playing in the big leagues right now, which are DJ Stewart and Austin Slater. But just year in and year out, we've had great players come through here that have gone on to play, have great college careers, some minor league careers, and that are now, judges and lawyers and doctors, and it's really neat to see, those guys succeeding, not just in the baseball world, but in the career world.
So when I got here in 2013, the first goal was to just be competitive in this area, because Bishop Kenny had been good for years. And at that time, we were probably third or fourth in the Jacksonville area, if you don't even count St. Johns County schools. And so our goal was to just be competitive. And then once you were competitive at the local level, then we could be competitive at the state. And so it took us 5 years to win. So we won our first one in the season of 2017. And that group was, we started with them young and developed them, and they got better, progressed them year by year. Won in 2017, they went to nationals, the Nike Nationals, and we won in 2018, went to Nike Nationals. And then that group graduated. They were the ones that won the track title in 2019. And so we still wanted to be competitive. And so Tony Ryan had said, you just try and be on the podium, as much as you can. And for us, the podium is top 2. And so we were runner-up in 16, won in 17 and 18. And although we didn't have those guys that went on to college from that earlier team, we were runner-up in 19 and 20, and then we won it again, or the boys won it again in 2021, this past fall.
The women and men's swimming teams have both consecutively won more than 30 state championships.
We have a huge senior class this year. This is really kind of abnormal. I don't know how it worked out that we ended up with about 36 seniors. We have about 107 total on our swim team. 36 are seniors, and I think by the time it's all said and done, we'll be probably about 25 of them will end up deciding to swim in college. And it's at all different levels, from Division I, II, III, NAIA, junior colleges. I mean, all the way up to the Stanfords and the Cals and the Texases of the swimming world. And I always love having those practices where they come back and welcome our alumni back in and be a part of the program. This summer we'll have a few that stop by. Brian Murphy's always done a good job whenever he's in town. His parents still live here in Jacksonville, so he'll come over and find his way to a practice just to talk to the team. And every now and then he hops in and swims with us and just gets a chance for the first year I was here, it was a little bit more of a, kids were in awe, they were in shock, they wanted autographs, and he came back and did a practice with us, and our boys wanted to go toe to toe. They wanted to see if they could hang with him, they wanted to see what he could do, and they were pushing right on there. They would do anything to stay with him. So it was fun to see that and kind of see that old generation with our new generation and kind of how they competed a little bit. But then as you kind of go out and you go to meets nationally, you'll run into Bolles alumni everywhere. They're all over the place. They're coaches, they're athletes, they're everywhere. They always come up. How's it going? What's going on? How's the program look? What's the culture like? What are the kids saying to each other?
Bolles is a place that has such rich tradition everywhere, and especially like in the Bolles swimming pool. There's so much tradition. There's so many incredible swimmers that have gone through there. There's so many incredible coaches that have gone through there, and so many incredible people. And so for Bolles to honor me in that way, it really is special. I do owe a ton of my success to my experience at Bolles. They really did set the foundation for my career, and so all of the gratitude a lot of the gratitude I have in this sport is kind of focused towards Bolles.
A long-standing tradition of winning is what drives Bolles student athletes. But with that comes pressure.
It's a rich tradition, and it's amazing to see. And the athletes are, every year you see someone new, whether it's a Cade Frew, who I think is just an unbelievable athlete, or Mac Jones, who we've seen come through there. And you go back to when I was there, and you had the Chipper Jones and the D Brown, and all these guys go through, and you have a D Brown's kid playing, high school basketball there now. So it's fun to watch the generations.
I feel that, part of our success is, starting the kids young and working with them. They get a feel for what's expected. They get to work with the older kids and see what they do. And I think it's just, a lot of it too is just the boys know you're going to be there. They know that you've got their back. They'll come up, and if they want to practice on a day off of school at 6 or 7 in the morning, I'll show up and I'll be there for them at 6 and 7 in the morning if they've got things to do later in the day. And I think just, you got to be there. You can't just coach 5 days a week. You can't just coach care about them from 3:30 to 5:30. You got to care about them during the school day. You got to care about them on the weekends, before meets, after meets. Just all the time.
Honestly, I got to tell you, it doesn't, every time we get to the state meet every year, it's not in the back of my mind, my gosh, we got to keep the streak alive. I think it really is, if you focus on doing what you can, you got to focus on winning, right? Be aggressive, go out there and prime the kids to be aggressive and put your best lineup forward. And you're not making decisions to protect yourself, you're making decisions to put your best team out there. Then it keeps that going, right? So we try not to focus on what that streak is behind us, but just focus on what that next step is every time. So for us to keep coaching, keep winning, I think one of the really important things for us is acknowledge the human element of the sport and realize that we've got to work with each person within the team and work on things that help the people themselves, recognize their strengths or their own well-being, what they need to be well and what they need to be healthy.
We have great facilities. We have an administration, a board of trustees that gives us the resources to be successful and to be motivating to the coaches and the kids to show up and practice every day.
There's a sense of community, at least when I was there, and even now, being the team physician, it's nice seeing that same sense of community. It's amazing going through the generations, where I had my teammates and we were at Bolles together and we played together and everybody went in their own different direction. how many people have come back to this community, and now because I'm seeing their kids, I'm operating on their kids, and I'm seeing their kids play basketball or play football or play whatever sport, that sense of community around the athletics really kind of brings things together. And certainly there's that with academics as well. But being in that athletic world, it's nice to see all those families together in one place and people getting together on Friday night football. And those are exciting times. And I enjoy bringing my kids there now, or much younger, but I enjoy bringing them to the game, bringing them to the sidelines, and it's awesome to watch.
The support from the administration down, athletic directors, all the other coaches are also supportive of all of us, and I think that's a big dynamic that we have over other schools, is all the coaches that are here really support each other. At any given time you go to any game, you'll see other coaches there supporting them, and I don't think we have any that are my sport's better than your sport, even though some are better. Peter's program is top in the nation, but he lets our baseball team go over there and work out in the pool just because we're trying to condition and get our guys in better shape. So being able to work together like that as a unit, comes down from Matt Morris, who's been our AD for a long time. He instills that we're one program, we work together as individuals, but we're one program when it comes down to it.
And the effort that the coaches put in to give the athletes the opportunity to succeed was significantly high, and the kids, we put in the work when we were younger, and they still do now.